Can someone be too old to practice fasting for weight loss? Short answer, no. I think we often underappreciate the ability of fasting to help people during their golden years. If you're an older individual trying to lose weight, I hope you'll leave this video feeling encouraged. A thoughtful commenter left this question. They say, I keep hearing that fasting is dangerous for older adults. Is that true? I'm considering working up to one meal every other day. Your thoughts? So there's no arbitrary cutoff where it's like, I'm sorry, but you're this old now and you just can't do this. Like there's no rule that says, okay, you've reached this age, you have to eat this many times a day. The oldest patient I ever had the privilege of working with who practiced fasting was 86, and they had a great experience. They came into my weight management clinic when they were 84 because their size was limiting their ability to change their own shoes and socks, and they wanted to try to stay functional, independent as long as possible. They had very little ability to exercise and they felt stuck. I helped this person transition to 1 meal a day eating, and over the course of 2 years, they lost over 100 pounds. And by the end of it, they were able to fairly easily manage their activities of daily living. Fasting was such a simple and beautiful gift for this person to help them remain functional and independent, and I just don't think it could have happened any other way. So yes, people can fast at any age, but what is true is that as we get older, the chance that we have medical conditions increases, our use of medications that might have to be taken with food increases, and all these things should be thoughtfully considered. The main focus with anyone, and certainly when we're getting older, is staying hydrated. Makes things more pleasant, makes it easier. Practically, it's what keeps you from getting dehydrated, which can be a risk as we get older, even without fasting. The question asked about alternate daily fasting, and I like the way they phrase it, working up to it, that's the idea. You never have to do anything as aggressive as alternate daily fasting. Like in my book, that's like level 3 or 3+. Even for a young, healthy person, I would say, hey, just ease into things slowly. Make sure that you are never feeling overwhelmed or stressed. You always start at level 1. If you're eating more than 3 times a day, just work things down to 3 times a day, and that'll set you up to make that core transition. Step 3 meals a day to 2. Just like open up a nice window, 16 to 18 hours food free. Just sit in that space until it feels easy. And for many people, that's all they ever have to do. But if you need more power, slowly ease into it. Throw in some 1 meal days, have a full fasting day. So that alternate daily fasting, very intense. That's pretty much the end of what I would call simple fasting. People can go beyond that, absolutely they can. But especially as you get older, you run into risks with that, of electrolyte imbalance. Why not just keep it simple? You have so much benefit from the lower end of the spectrum and just get in a routine with it. So I usually say 1 day max, and then just focus on getting healthy, nutritious, unprocessed food, and then you don't have to worry about anything more extended than that. So here's one way I think about this. As we get older, the probability that we end up in the hospital, it is also unfortunately higher. All kinds of people in the hospital for all kinds of reasons, and they have to fast for medical procedures. But in the hospital, we don't call it fasting. We just say they're NPO, means nothing by mouth. So we give people an IV, we manage their fluids with IV fluids, and even people who are very frail, who do not need to lose weight, they often end up in the hospital NPO. And so they have all these things going on. And you know what it can be like in the hospital. Doctor will come in the morning, they'll be like, okay, today you're gonna have this procedure, it's like scheduled for 10 o'clock, and then 10 come and go. And then all of a sudden it's 3, and they're like, oh, it's been rescheduled, it's gonna happen, but then it doesn't. And you've been NPO, and then I'm sorry, you just got bumped till tomorrow. And now with the requirements, you're still NPO because the procedure's first thing early. And so these things can stretch out so long. And you step back and look at it, and people in the hospital are practicing extended fasting. This poor person's not even in the hospital for a good reason. They have an illness or something is wrong. And so if some person who's not even overweight and they're dealing with all this. They can practice fasting, now fasting voluntary, so these people kind of forced into it. But how much more someone who is older, but they don't have medical problems? They're feeling perfectly fine. They're not in the hospital. It's like, can you do it? Yes. All right. The human body is capable of doing this. It is strong and it's a normal function of the body. This is why we store body fat. It's there to power the body in the absence of food. So if you want to lose weight, you're trying to burn up extra blood sugar, you don't have to keep putting more food into the system. You can just use the energy that's there. And that's what the body was designed to do. So it's a great irony, I think, as we think about a person basically forced into fasting in the hospital, okay, but by voluntarily opening up this space when we're well, gently and thoughtfully training the body to use that energy, might we end up less likely to end up in the hospital in the first place? That would be a great outcome. Burn away the excess, revitalize the body, realize the strength and vitality that can help us stay functional and independent. This is the vision that I see with fasting as we age. I hope I'm helping you to see it, and I hope that you're doing very well. I'll look forward to seeing you back here soon.